the years, Transformers has had many different size classes for a customer to choose from. We all know the big three: Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader. Sure, they have changed their names over time, but we have had these since the first wave of Beast Wars back in 1996. While those three retained, there have been others that have come and gone, and there was no size I loved more than the one that was called Legends class. Small little robots that could turn into vehicles no bigger than a Hot Wheels car. This class made its debut as part of the Cybertron toy line, and it was incredible from the jump with how they took the toys they had already made at those larger scales and made them fit in your pocket. Then the 2007 Transformers live action movie happened, and the Legends class figures were fully original designs all to themselves. And once Revenge of the Fallen came around, the Legends figures were some of the best figures in the line. And that says a lot because Revenge of the Fallen had so many good toys. Around the time of Dark of the Moon and Prime, we saw an attempt to grow the line, with the canon larger characters now being in a new Commander class, and we could get vehicles and playsets, something Transformers never does. It really felt like the line was on the rise, but then the next series barely had any Legends, and the Generations line was using the name for larger figures that were meant to interact with the big three instead of being their own universe in our pockets. Then it just went away. Now, after 3 years of being gone, we have the core class that has some figures that are supposed to be that small scale Transformers world, but then it also has figures that are meant to be the smaller characters in our large Transformers world. Sure, it's had some good figures, but it just hasn't been the knockout it used to be. Meanwhile, in the world of what we like to call third-party Transformers, or to go by the real name, high-budget knockoffs, the company of Iron Factory came onto the scene with their own line of tiny little robots with all the high detail and articulation of a serious adult collectible. Well, from what I would hear from the reviews, seeming to still retain the fun factor of being a toy. I normally don't care for third-party stuff myself, but I have gotten some when they make something I feel Hasbro may never do. But this line really keeps calling to me, and the one thing that's been keeping me away is that much like all third-party toys, these are really overpriced. Oh man, a 4-inch IDW-style Galvatron in his toy-accurate colors? Sign me up! Oh wait, he's $45, never mind. Look at this 6-inch armored-up IDW Ultra Magnus! I want it! I want it! I want it! $100? Get out of here! As cool as these toys seem, I can't justify buying any of these, no matter how much I want to. Then I saw this free pack. For those who don't know what this Wingard free pack is, it is the Iron Factory version of Slipstream that is super cute and I love it, but I was never willing to pay the $40 for it. Now made in triplet and recolored into Rule 63 versions of the main Seeker trio. The $60 price still felt a bit much, but given how it technically means each of these was half off, I decided it was finally time to see what one of these Iron Factory pieces was really like. After all, with me being a fan of Seeker Brothers, I saw this free pack and felt, why not have a set of Seeker sisters? Starting with the jet mode, it's a very neat little thing, covered in some IDW-like textures all over it. The shape of the wings are interesting. It really makes me think of the F-22 that Starscream was in the live-action films, instead of the F-14 that the G1 Seekers are known for. Also, all three of them have red striping on the wings, when Skywarp is normally an outlier with purple stripes that match the wings. But these unified ones really make them feel more like a team. They got the entire robot hanging out under the bottom, but what do you expect from a Seeker toy? Also, they include these tuning fork-like things that are adapters for flight stands, but I don't have any of those at the moment, so I can't really show them off. With a quick change to the aforementioned robot mode, you can see we have three cute little ladies here. They're about the size of the core class figures, so they can easily go together if you'd like them to. Because this mold was made to be slipstream, it of course takes the normal Seeker design and places them onto an hourglass-like body. The huge panel on the back does kind of break the silhouette, especially on Skywarp, but the paint on the torso does do a good job at bringing out the detail. The null rays are absolutely huge. They're longer than the arms and go over the head. It makes me wonder why they still have the shoulder pylons with them always being blocked out of view. Sure, those are a normal thing for the male Seekers, but not slipstreams, so they really didn't need to add that detail. They also have these purple eyes instead of the common Decepticon red, which is an interesting choice. Also, Starscream and Thundercracker both came packed with the slight smirking face that the original version of this toy had, but Skywarp has this new shocked face to make her stand out, I guess. If you don't like the shocked face, they did include this extra normal head to have all three match. Heck, you could even put the shocked face on Starscream and use it as a reaction to Megatron abusing her. Man, that doesn't feel right to say. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this little set as my first dive into Iron Factory. Will I get more in the future? Well, I'll probably pick up Primal Prime just so I can finally have a version of the character in my collection. And that Lio Kaiser is very tempting. Look, they're even doing Death Cobra. That's awesome. I hope to see Hasbro give me a beautiful line of small Transformers again one day, but until then, I'll be keeping my eyes on Iron Factory for a micro-sized version of the giant robot cars. See you around, guys.